I sold millions of records, and they called me the mayor of Miami, but I still went bankrupt.
This is Pocket Watching with JT.
Hey, Pocket Watchers, I am certified financial planner Jayson Thornton, and this is the Bankruptcy Breakdown. This is where I react to the financial failures of your favorite Black celebrities so you can get the financial lesson without going through the trouble. Let's go, Pocket Watching. Today, we will be reacting to the bankruptcy of Maurice Trick Daddy Young. Now, understand, Trick Daddy is a part of my personal soundtrack, right? This man has made so many hits that I have bobbed my head to over the years. I think he deserves a little bit of context because I'm not a person who watches reality TV. I don't do it. It's not a part of my life, but I am aware that there are some people out there who may only know Trick Daddy based off his appearances on Love and Hip Hop Miami. And let me tell you right now, that is not the Trick Daddy that I knew. I knew a totally different Trick Daddy. See, this is the Trick Daddy that the Pocket Watcher grew up with. So give me a second to just lay some context to this man. The very first song or the very first time I ever heard of Trick Daddy, it was on this particular song featuring Trina. It's called Nah, right? I know the actual title of the song is a little bit longer, but to keep it PG-13, we'll just say Nah. And to be honest, the first 2 or 3 times I heard the song, I wasn't a fan. I didn't like it. But by the 4th or 5th time I heard the song, all of a sudden I'm bobbing my head and just something clicked. It's like I got it. Now, the issue could have been that during that time, this was almost the golden age of New York hip hop, East Coast hip hop. And maybe my ears was just trained to listen for a sound that was similar to Jay-Z or Nas or Mace. Maybe that was, I was just listening for that. In this southern, South Florida vernacular, I wasn't ready for it. But eventually I got it. And I think the rest of the world got it because there was a time there when Trick Daddy was on an absolute run when it came to cranking out hits. I'm gonna go over a couple of them. Probably one of the biggest songs that he has in his whole catalog is Let's Go. Now, by this time, I'm probably in college, right? Let's Go. When Let's Go came out with Little John, it was an absolute banger. This is like the peak of like crunk rap and stuff like that. This was an absolute banger. You couldn't go to a college party and not hear this song. He also had Take It to the House. Now, if you do not know this song, let me explain something to you. Take It to the House was such a hit. You could not go to a sporting event and not hear this song. When I say a sporting event, I don't care what level we're talking about. We could talk about Little League, you'd hear this song. High school, you hear this song. College, you hear this song. In the pros, you would hear this song. And I hope he got his money off this song because this was absolutely always on rotation. If you went to any sporting event during that time, Take It to the House is an absolute hit, big time money maker. I only pray that Trick Daddy made the right percentage of money that he deserved off this song. Let's go to another one. In the Wind. In the Wind was a very, very big hit. It featured Big Boy from Outkast, CeeLo Green. Big hit. Here's another one. I'm a Thug. I'm a Thug. Another big smash hit. But to be honest, none of those were my favorite. My favorite was a song simply titled Shut Up. That's the song. That's the title. Shut Up. Now, give me a second to explain to you why I love this song so much. Let me be very clear. I'm well aware that Trick Daddy is probably on no one's top 5 lyricists of all time list. I'm aware of that. I got it. But Trick Daddy had this unique ability to spit a bar that I was 100% not ready to hear. Wasn't expecting it. See, there's other people who, are lyricists, but to be honest, I kind of see where they're going and I enjoy it. But when it came to Trick Daddy, he would say something that was totally out of left field and I still liked it. So let me give you a little color of Shut Up. Now, before the beat even drops, he starts out the song saying, we're going to let the band deal with this. Then we hear the horns, right? We hear the horn. Boom, dum, 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 boom, boom, dum, dum. He's building it up. The song is just building up at this point. Now listen to the hook. The hook is, okay, what's up? Shut up. That's it. That's it. There's no more to the hook than that. That's the hook 4 more times. Okay, what's up? Shut up. I know it sounds very simple, but I'm telling you, if you was there, you understand the vibe. Now listen, here are my favorite Trick Daddy bars. Pay very close attention. This is how he starts out his verse. He says, riding around in my brand new 99 4-door Volvo. Pay attention. Riding around in my brand new 99 4-door Volvo. I got a pocket full of bees, cocoa weed, and ain't got no place to go, though. But all my Boca boys, they know, though. That's for sure, though. Here we go. Here's the Volvo. He's riding around. This is my favorite part. Prepare yourself. After he says, but all my Boca boys, they know, though. That's for sure, though. We hear the voice of a woman coming out of nowhere. And she has the audacity to ask Trick Daddy this particular question that I was not ready for the first time I heard this song. This woman dares to ask him this. Are those Bugle Boy jeans you wearing? And what does Trick say? Hell no, ho, you know these polo. Listen. I'm sorry. I will never forget that ball for the rest of my life. I'm sorry. See, maybe you had to be around in the 80s and the 90s. Maybe you don't even know what Bugle Boy jeans were. It was a huge campaign, huge marketing thing. In the commercial, this woman is driving down this road, like I think it's like in the desert. And there's a man just standing on the side of the road. Maybe he's hitchhiking. I can't remember. But she's blazing down this road, passes the man up. Then she hits reverse, backs the car up, rolls the window down. I think she had sunglasses on and she tilted her sunglasses and she asked the man, are those Bugle Boy jeans you're wearing? Listen, that was an extremely popular commercial during that time and age. Not during this song, but years before. And for Trick Daddy to pull that reference out in this song, to me, listen, I enjoyed it. So much so when I heard that, I said, hold on, we got to rewind the tape. And for those of you who don't know what a tape is, just look on the screen. In my car at that time, I did not have a CD player. I had tapes. I had to rewind the tape to hear what this man said. Once again, this is the last time I say it, but I just want you to understand how much I enjoy this bar. This man says that he is riding around in his brand new 99 four-door Volvo. I got a pocket full of bees of cocoa weed and ain't got no place to go, though. But all my Boca boys, they know, though. That's for sure, though. Are those Bugle Boy jeans you wearing? Hell no, ho. You know this polo. You gotta put some respect on this man's name. All right, I'm sorry. All right, so let's get straight into it. All right. How did Trick Daddy, with bars like that, selling millions and millions of records, how did he end up in bankruptcy? Let's take a look at it now. Let's run the numbers. Now, Trick Daddy, aka Maurice Young, he actually filed for bankruptcy not one time, not two times, not three times, but 4 times. And he filed for Chapter 13 bankruptcy. For those who are unaware, 13 bankruptcy is not the same thing as Chapter 7. Chapter 13 is different. Chapter 7 is the fresh start, total liquidation. I'm walking away from most of my debts type of bankruptcy. Chapter 13 is the payment plan, right? You set up a payment plan between 3 to 5 years to try to catch up on some of your back debt. There is some debt that you can walk away from, but generally this is a payment plan type of bankruptcy. He filed back in 2015, didn't work out for him, got dismissed. Filed in 2016, didn't work out for him, got dismissed. Filed in 2017, did not work out for him, got dismissed. But we are going to talk about the 4th time. August 6, 2019. This is the bankruptcy we are going over today. So let's look at the numbers he put down on this bankruptcy. A little different from what we have seen in the past. Trick Daddy claimed that he made $10,000 a month being self-employed as an entertainer. So that means his annual income was around $120,000 a year. That's good money. That is good money. Now, it may not be the type of money you would expect from a man who had millions of records sold, who's probably known all over the world, but this is good money. Now, it's about the same amount of money that you could probably make if you were like, a plumber, a guy who has like self-employed HVAC, like in the trades. You can make this type of money in the trades. You do not need to be some international hip-hop star to make this type of money. So once again, people, stop chasing dreams out there to being some rock star when you can live a pretty decent life going to trade school, community college, whatever. You got a lot of options is what I'm trying to say. When you see these celebrities on your timeline and you think they're living a lifestyle where they're making millions of dollars every month, you're probably falling for the trap. Focus on the reality of the numbers here. Let's take a look at his expenses. He reported his expenses were less than $3,000 a month. So if he's making $10,000 a month and his expenses are only $2,921 a month, that means he has over $7,000 left over to pay his bills. So how and why is he filing for bankruptcy if he has $7,000 plus a month to the good? What happened? Well, the issue for me, based on the way that I look at it, it's not so much his bad current spending habits. I think it's his past bad spending habits that got him in this trouble. So let's take a look at his assets. What did he own? Did he have appreciating assets or did he have depreciating assets? Appreciating assets, once again, these are the things that you buy that after you buy them, they go up in value. Depreciating assets are the things that you buy and then afterwards they go down in value. His biggest asset, the biggest part of his wealth, was his home. He claimed that his total assets, when you add everything up, was $356,650. Out of that, $350,000 was his personal home. So well over 90% of the value of his whole net worth was in his home at this time. Now, he did have some personal property, minor stuff, depreciating assets. He had about $1,500 worth of household goods. He had about $150 in clothes. That sounds like ridiculous because I know I have more than $150 worth of clothes, but some things are exempt, but that's really, really low. Let's take a look at his bank account. He claims that during that time, his Bank of America checking account had $0 in it. Absolutely nothing. And the only other thing of value that he had his stock in the company, called Trick and Rick Music Publishing. And he claimed that stock in that company is only worth about $5,000. Once again, that seems a bit low, but we'll take a look at how this ends up. Now, aside from his 100% ownership in his music publishing company, he does not have any of the traditional investments that you would expect from any reasonable person who has made millions of dollars. We don't see any stocks, any bonds, any ETFs, right? No retirement accounts. This is a trend when it comes to celebrities. Just because you make millions of dollars, that does not mean that you are exempt from wealth planning. You need to put money off to the side and invest in traditional investment assets. Now, you can say, well, he invested in his home. Well, yeah, he invested in his home, but how is he making money from his home? The only way that you can make money from your personal residence is if maybe you rent out a room or something. The only way you can get cash out of your personal residence is if you get a loan, refi, pull money out. Now you got debt, or you sell the home. Now you don't have the home anymore. So you cannot lean on your own personal home as this key to wealth in the way that people promote it to be. All right, let's take a look at the debts. His debts are a little under $1 million. He has $176.86. Okay. Let's break it down in the types of debt. His biggest debt, once again, is associated with his biggest asset. He has $435,682 in a mortgage, and an additional $12,000 that he owes to the HOA. Now, if you notice something, if you're tracking these numbers, you realize there's a big problem. This man is upside down in his equity. Take a look at it. He claims that the home is only worth $350,000, but yet he owes over $430,000 to the mortgage and $12,000 to the HOA. He's underwater. He owes more money on the home than what the home is worth. But the whole reason why he's filing for bankruptcy is to save this home. What is his other debts? Well, his other debts come from the IRS and the state of Florida. He has $290,000 in back taxes to the IRS, and he has nearly $60,000 in back child support. I believe it's $57,119 in back child support. And he also has some other unsecured debt, general debt, consumer debt type of things, and we will go over that as well. So let's run some numbers real quick. What type of income did Trick Daddy need to truly support his lifestyle? Well, unlike the other bankruptcy breakdowns that I've done, Trick Daddy makes more than enough money to actually support his current lifestyle. I'm going to say that again. He makes more than enough money to support his current lifestyle. The problem is he does not make enough money to support his current lifestyle and the previous lifestyle that he led that got him into this trouble. That's the problem. For his current lifestyle, all he had to make was $5,842 a month, and he'd be able to easily cover his current expenses. But see, he makes $10,000 a month. So he's making well over what he needs. But once again, he still has to service the debt that he created while he was making a whole lot more money. That's the problem that he's in. And if you look in the mirror, that very well could be the same problem that you're in. It may not be in the millions of dollars, but you are probably paying off dumb decisions that you made with your money years ago, and it's keeping you from being able to live the life that you want right now. All right. So remember, he filed for Chapter 13 bankruptcy. This is a payment plan type of bankruptcy. So let's take a look at what the payment plan Trick Daddy and his attorney submitted to the court. This was the plan. He wanted to pay the $7,079. That is the extra money that he had left after he paid his bills each month. He was going to take that $7,079 over the course of 5 years. He was going to get most of that debt settled. Most of the debt that he had that was, he was behind on his bills, right? He had, thousands and thousands of dollars of being behind on his bills. He was going to catch up on all his bills and get current. It does not mean he was going to completely pay off all his debt in that 5-year period, but he would get current with the back bills, and this allows him to stay in his home. Because right now, during this situation, he's afraid that his home is going to get foreclosed on. So he's got to file this bankruptcy to save the home, even though the home he's upside down in equity in. So what happened? Well, congratulations to Trick Daddy. It seems as if everything was able to work out for the brother. He was able to actually follow this payment plan all the way through. And he was able to, on February the 24th, 2025, the court officially said that Trick Daddy was able to complete his payment plan and save his home. He was able to pay off a lot of debt during that time. Not all of his debt, but a lot of debt. Okay. He was able to pay off over $400,000 worth of debt during that time with the payment plan that he got. Let's take a look at it. He was able to, number one, he was able to save his home. During that time, he was able to pay back the $53,815.57 in back mortgage payments. On top of that, of course, he had to continue making the current payments so that he didn't fall back behind again. So he was able to maintain around $195,792.66 going towards the mortgage that got him in good standing. Once again, the house was not paid off by the time he got out of bankruptcy, but he did not have this big back bill that was going to cause the home to be foreclosed on. And I think that was his number one goal in this situation. He wanted to save his home, and he did it. What else did he do? During that time in the payment plan, he was able to successfully pay the IRS, not completely off, but he was able to pay off $78,775.61 to the IRS, getting him into good standing. Now, when I say good standing when it comes to the IRS, that does not mean that you don't owe them money. But what that does mean is all the tax returns that need to be filed have been filed, and you're on some sort of payment arrangement with the IRS, and you're in good standing. So congratulations, he got his IRS account out of bad standing into good standing. And he was able to pay a lot of this child support. He paid $70,767.84 to the state of Florida for the back child support. Now, here's the other thing he had to pay. He had to pay the court. During that time, he paid the court almost $40,000 worth of fees to even have this whole bankruptcy going. It's between the court and his own attorney. He paid $36,753.58 to the court and attorney fees just to get this done. But remember, he was able to save his home. Now, here's another thing. He was able to walk away from $174,887.29 worth of unsecured debt. What is unsecured debt? Unsecured debt is debt that you owe, but there is no collateral against it. During that time, he actually owed $178,790.15 worth of general unsecured claims. All right. Based on the payment plan, most of the money, most of that $7,000 a month was going towards the other debt that he had. Remember the mortgage, the IRS, child support. Most of that money went towards the secured debt and the priority debts. Only $3,912.86 went to the unsecured debt. And by the time the bankruptcy was over, the court was able to discharge, get rid of $174,877.29 worth of unsecured debt. So shouts out to Trick Daddy, absolute legend in Southern Miami hip hop, especially during my formative years. And he was able to save his home through the bankruptcy process. Shouts out to him. The story ends on a good note. But for you pocket watchers out there, if you find yourself in financial trouble, I am giving you the opportunity to learn the Pocket Watcher 7 money rules so you can keep from going into bankruptcy. Or if you are in bankruptcy, how to rebuild your financial life after bankruptcy. You follow these 7 money rules. We're talking about budgeting, emergency savings, debt planning, insurance planning, tax planning, wealth planning, and estate planning. Now, everything starts with the budget. And if you do not have a budget, I have a free app for you. Just go to my website, www.pocketwatcher.net. Sign up for the free Pocket Watcher app. You are able to create your budget so that you can actually start tracking your money and putting your money where it needs to go. And you can also create your debt payoff plan 100% free in the app. All you have to do, create a password, sign up with your email, and you have access to these tools. And if you have a question for the Pocket Watcher, go to the website, pocketwatcher.net, click the Ask JT button, fill out the form. And when I get time, I'll do the best I can to get you an answer. And of course, if there is a Black celebrity that has filed for bankruptcy or maybe even had to go to court and fight with the IRS, make sure you put their name down in the comment section. I'm adding all of these names on my list. And when I get time, I will make a video. Thanks for watching.
Are you looking for real financial advice? Thornton Financial is here to help. Certified financial planner Jayson Thornton specializes in tax and wealth planning. Are you living paycheck to paycheck with no retirement plan? Do you need help with the IRS? Book your free consultation with Thornton Financial today. Budgeting, savings, debt management, and retirement. Even tax debt settlements. Get the advice you need to live your best life. Book your free consultation appointment today. Go to www.thornton-financial.com.